All right, we are live. Are we live yet? Let's see if we're live yet. We're going to check it out, see if we're live. Not yet. We should be live any minute now. Hopefully we'll go live. Hey, there we are. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mouse Talk episode number 6, if you can believe that already. Episode 6. For those who are joining us on the replay, thank you for joining it as I'm looking at my phone. Sorry about that. Pull everything up here and get ready for the show. But welcome, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. We are going to have a good show today. Good fun live stream as we do our bracket challenge. We're doing our female Disney characters. And we got 64 characters to get through. But we probably won't get it all done today. We might. I don't know yet, but we'll have to see. If you are, hey, Phantom Gazer's in here. What's going on? Good evening to you. Glad you're here. Thank you. Got your comment from one of our videos today, so thank you very much on that. We definitely appreciate it. We're going to have a good time. We're going to do our Disney Bracket Challenge. We're going to do our female Disney characters, and we got 64 characters to choose from. Now, for those of you that are watching on the replays, first off, thank you for joining us. I hope you guys enjoy it. We're going to have a good time. And for those, of course, that are watching here, I'm glad you're here. We're going to have a good time. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're getting close. We're really close to 1,100. We're almost there. We're like 2 short of 1,100. That would be awesome. So thank you. I appreciate that. But we're going to have fun tonight. We're going to have a good time. These bracket challenges, I love them. I think they're great. And I kind of try to make up my own here and there to do them. Hey, Noah's in here. Steve's in here. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for dropping in. Definitely appreciate it. We were just talking. I really love these bracket challenges. And Isaac's in here. Hey, Isaac, how you doing? No problem, Steve. I appreciate you just being here, so thank you. And I love the challenges. I think they're fun. The brackets are great. I try to make them up myself. Just so, hey, Leanne's in here. Hey, Leanne, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. And they're really a good time. But before we get started, as usual, the live place, Dean, Dreamers Empire, thank you for hosting as usual. For those that haven't seen Dean, please go out to theliveplace.com, and they have a YouTube channel too. Be sure to subscribe to them on YouTube. They're really a lot of fun. Hey, here's AJ. AJ's in here. Kayla's in here. Melissa's in here. Mulan or Rapunzel for the win. Kayla, you'll be surprised. They might. You never know. They're definitely both on this in this bracket. I'll tell you that. But we're going to get started here in just a second, and we got a lot of good matchups to go through. And I'll be honest with you, there's 64 female Disney characters in this group. So we might only get through maybe the first round today, depending upon how quick we move. But it's going to be a lot of fun. I've been working on this bracket for a little while now, and I definitely enjoy doing the brackets. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but that's why even with others live streams, I like going on those live streams and watching the brackets. I know Meg did hers yesterday, the first part of her Disney Villains bracket. And it's a lot of fun, and I love to see what everybody else's choices are, because everybody's always different. I mean, you have your consensus on some. Hey, Brian's in here. Hey, Brian. Good to see you. Yeah, AJ, 64 Disney females, and we're going to get them. We may not do it all tonight, but we're definitely going to get down to number 1. I'm interested to see who ultimately is going to win, because I have no idea. So we're going to break them down. And we're going to start with our first matchup. Now that we got a few people in here, and we're about almost 5 minutes in. For those that haven't, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We'd love for you to do that. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. Thanks, Leanne. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it, guys and gals. Please give us a thumbs up. It definitely helps the stream, kind of gets it out there. Maybe people will see it and they'll drop in. But we're definitely going to go out there and have a good time with this. So let's start our first matchup. And the first few might be kind of easy, but we'll have to see. Melissa will win. Melissa's not going to win this one. She's not on the list, Brian. But so our first matchup, and I want to see how everybody does this one. Our first matchup is Cinderella versus Penny. Now, Penny is from Bolt, those that don't know. So we have Cinderella versus Penny. So who's everybody's pick there? Cinderella versus Penny. This is our first matchup of the night. Cinderella versus Penny. Penny. And I'm trying to find some of the characters. Bolt's always one of those Disney movies that's always kind of forgotten about. Cinderella, 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 Noah, AJ, Leanne, Kayla, they all say Cinderella. Makes sense. Brian says Cinderella. Melissa's going to say, I don't know what Melissa's going to say. Chris says Cinderella as well. It makes sense. I mean, Melissa says Cinderella. And you know what? Be honest with you, that's the right pick there. I mean, I like Penny from Bolton. I think she's a cute character and a lot of fun. But Cinderella's one of the, she's like one of the top Disney princesses out there. There's no way she can get knocked out in the first round. Even if it is against Penny, there's only a couple other ones out there that would probably knock her out, maybe in the first round, and even then, I'm not sure. But has everybody out there seen Bolt? Because I think I've only seen that movie maybe halfway through. I don't think I even finished it. But it's not a bad movie at all. It's just, Cinderella's a classic. So there we go. Yep, Isaac says Cinderella as well. Yep, and that's who I picked. I picked Cinderella for sure in that first round matchup. All right, so let's move on to our second matchup, Kingdom. It's funny, AJ. I've never seen. I don't think I've seen it the whole way through. My youngest son, Mason, when he was younger, he loved that movie. He thought it was a lot of fun. Yeah, Brian, me either. I've never seen it. At least not all the way through. Not that I can remember. But it's not bad. It's not. What I saw of it wasn't bad. It wasn't one of those movies that caught my attention the whole way through. Yep, I believe it, Kayla. It definitely. My youngest son, when he was younger, he enjoyed it a lot. All right. Every day, absolutely. I know what that's like. Absolutely. Once they get on those run of movies that they love, they just stick to them for a while, for sure. Yes, that is Phantom Gazer. Chris, that's the one where Travolta voices the dog. Yep, that's the one. And I think it's Miley Cyrus voices Penny, if I'm not mistaken. So Cinderella is going to move on to the next round, and the next matchup is going to be, and this one's going to be an interesting one here. I can't wait to see how everybody picks this one. It's going to be Eve from WALL-E versus Sadness from Inside Out. So Eve versus Sadness. And that's kind of a tough matchup. So who does everybody pick there? Eve versus Sadness. Brian's going to watch Outside In this weekend. It's Inside Out. You're funny, Brian. So Eve versus Sadness. Who does everybody pick there? Isaac says Eve. So does Kayla. Melissa says Sadness. Sooner Girl. Leanne says Sadness. Thanks, Noah. I appreciate you sharing it, bud. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So a couple for Eve and a couple for Sadness. I'm surprised at that. Let's make Sadness happy. I'll say Sadness. Sadness for Noah. Brian says Sadness. And you know what? Yep. Sadness. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. That's true. I agree. Yeah, I don't know if they could ever do Eve as a character meet and greet. I wish they could. Eva. Yep. There you go. AJ says Eve. Yep. This is so emotional. I'm going to say, okay, so for me, gang, I out of Eve and Sadness, I think I like the character. I have to go with Sadness on this one. I mean, Eve's great, but I don't know, just Sadness has more character to her. I really enjoy her character. I think she's a lot of fun. She brings a lot to the movie. So for me, it's going to be Sadness. But I do like Eve. It's not that I dislike the character. I think I'm going to pick Sadness for me. So far, we're all on the same page. All right, so our next matchup is going to be Sally, but it's Sally from Cars, from the original Cars. Sally versus Alice from Alice in Wonderland. Here's another tough one. Sally versus Alice. Who do you guys pick there? Now, I know where I'm going, but I want to see what you guys pick. Sally from Cars versus Alice. And there'll be another Sally in here later, but not that one yet. So let's see. Isaac says Alice. We got one for Alice so far. Alice is a classic. I agree, Chris, for sure. Kayla says Sally from Cars. How about that? Good one. Interesting. Leanne says Alice. Got to stick with the classics. That makes sense. AJ says, I pick Alice. Imagine it was Sally versus Sally from Cars and NBA Nightmare Before Christmas. You know what? It's funny you said that, but that actually could be a matchup, AJ. It's funny you said that. But if Alice from Cars, if Sally from Cars happened to win this match, that would be something that could happen. But sadly, I don't think Sally is going to win this one because everybody else is saying Alice, and I tend to agree. I would say that for me, between Alice and Sally, it's probably going to be Alice. Alice in Wonderland is a classic. I really enjoy that character. Our oldest son, Alice was one of his favorites growing up. He loved Alice in Wonderland. Okay, well, that makes sense. That movie is definitely kind of a weird movie for sure, but I enjoyed it. I think it was fun. Hey, Cargo's in here. Hi, Cargo. Shopping and wrapping presents day. Wow, how about that? Way to go, Cargo. So we're going to go with, for me, it's going to be Alice. That's my pick on this one, for sure, is going to be Alice. So the next matchup, speaking of Sally's, we have Go-Go from Big Hero 6, if everybody knows who that is. I think her name's Go-Go, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. But Go-Go from Big Hero 6 versus Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. So I think I know where everybody's going to go with this one, but I'm curious. Go-Go versus Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. And it's funny, AJ, because we could have had that Sally versus Sally matchup for sure. I'm yawning like crazy tonight, guys. I'm sorry. It's been a long day at work. I stayed up late last night. My team was playing on Monday Night Football, and I had to stay up and watch the entire game. So I'm tired now. Sally. Kayla says Sally hands down. Makes sense. Sally. Brian, Noah, Sally. Yes, this is a family-friendly stream. Did I say something wrong, Cargo? I'm sorry if I did. Sally. Kingdom AJ says Sally. Yep. So definitely. Yep. Sally. Everybody's saying Sally. That makes sense. Krista, hey! Krista Zielinski's in here. Hi, Krista. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for dropping in. We just started the first round of our Disney female characters bracket. It's been fun so far. And we just had Go-Go from Big Hero 6 versus Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas. And I agree, guys. It was almost hands down. I agree. Yes, AJ, it was the game last night. And it was a very good game, and I stayed up to the end to watch it. And now I'm tired. No, I'm glad you're in mod mode, Cargo. I appreciate that. No problem at all. So Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas moves on for me too, gang. Definitely Sally. So here comes the next one, and this one I think could be a hard one for everybody. Is you have Perdita from 101 Dalmatians versus Tinkerbell. So you have Perdita versus Tinkerbell. So who is everybody's pick there? Perdita versus Tinkerbell. Two very classic characters, highly regarded, very well liked by a lot of people. Perdita, of course, is the female adult dog in 101 Dalmatians, and everybody knows who Tinkerbell is. So we have AJ says Tink, Leanne says Tink, Isaac says Tink, Cargo says Perdita, Noah says Tink, Brian says Tink, Melissa says Tink. I always call her Mel. But it's funny because I almost forgot about Perdita, and then Melissa reminded me of her, and I added her last minute, so I'm glad I did. And Kayla says Perdita. Oh, Cargo, we love puppies too, for sure. Tinkerbell is synonymous with Disney. You're right, Chris, for sure. Absolutely. Everywhere you look, you see Tinkerbell everywhere. You know, at the beginning of every single Walt Disney World, you know, she's the one that does the little, like, arc. So I agree. And that would have been my pick, too. Tinkerbell was definitely, in this round, the one I would have picked. Well, AJ, as you get older, you can always get your own puppy. Always remember that. We did. Puppy for coat, fur coat. So there you go. The pick is going to be Tinkerbell. Yes, I tend to agree with everybody else. So we're moving pretty good here, guys. That's great. So here's another really hard matchup. Now I can't wait to see how this one comes out from everybody. You have Joy from Inside Out versus Lady from Lady and the Tramp. Joy from Inside Out versus Lady from Lady and the Tramp. This one's a tough one. What's everybody say here? Joy versus Lady. That one really is actually really tough. Isaac wants to get a puppy. He's planning to get one. We have a puppy. He's behind me laying down. Isaac says Joy. Cargo says Lady. Noah says Joy. Melissa says Lady. Kayla says Lady. Kingdom Times. AJ says Joy. Leanne says Joy. Brian says Lady Joy. Lady Joy. You can't have both. Phew, man, this is hard. I know, puppies versus happiness. I don't know, Chris. It's true. It's true. And you know what? How I picked these guys is I wrote all the names down. I don't know if you can see this, but I just like put all the names in a cup. And then I just like kind of drew them out. And it would be like, I'd be like, oh, there's this one versus that one. And that's how I did it. That's honestly how I did it, for sure. And I'm going to agree with everybody. I'm going to go with Lady. I'm sorry. Lady and the Tramp is a classic movie. I like Joy from the movie Inside Out, but Lady from Lady and the Tramp is, I think, a classic character. I think she's great. So Lady moves on for me. So the next matchup is Duchess versus Lilo from Lilo and Stitch. So we have Duchess versus Lilo. Ooh, that's another toughie. Toughie right there. Duchess versus Lilo. Kind of a hard match for sure. Duchess versus Lilo. Lilo. Cargo says Lilo is her home slice. Leanne says Lilo. Kayla says Lilo. Noah says Lilo. Melissa says Lilo. Chris says Lilo. So it's pretty unanimous. And I would have said the same thing. I like, again, Duchess is a great character, but Lilo is such a cute character. She's so important to that movie and for Stitch. She's kind of what brings him down to earth. Not literally, but figuratively. So I agree. It's going to be Lilo for me, too. So here's another tough one for us. This will end the first round of the first bracket because there's 4 different brackets. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is the last matchup of the first round in this bracket. Up here, you have Jane from the movie Tarzan versus Rapunzel. So Jane versus Rapunzel. Who do we have there? Jane versus Rapunzel. Let's see what everybody picks there. That's going to be a tough one, actually. I think I know where everybody's going. I know where I'm going, but I want to see what you guys pick. Jane versus Rapunzel. AJ says Rapunzel. Chris says Rapunzel. Melissa Rapunzel. Kayla, Isaac. Everybody's down with the lady with the long hair. Noah says Rapunzel. Leanne Rapunzel. Jane. Cargo with Jane. Hey, Brian with Jane. There you go. Me, Tarzan, vote Jane. He's funny. So Rapunzel, a lot of Rapunzels, couple Janes. You know what? I actually am surprised with that because I would have thought that this would have been one of the ones that, for me, I would have thought would have maybe gotten a unanimous vote of Rapunzel. So I'm glad. I'm glad to see votes for other people too. It's good to see that some of these characters, especially somebody like Jane, you never see her ever thought about in any of the parks. The only time you ever see her in the parks is during like a special event. Always have a frying pan. That's true, Leanne, for sure. So my pick is going to be Rapunzel as well. I'll be honest with you guys. Rapunzel's one of my favorite Disney characters. And she really is. Frying pan for the win, for sure. All right, so there you go. So there's my pick there. It's going to be Rapunzel. Rapunzel. So here we go. We're going to go with the next matchup. And this one, I don't think this will be a hard one to pick for everybody, but you never know. Yep, I'm sure she could do just fine without it too. Cargo for sure. So our next matchup, check this out, is Snow White versus Turk. Of course, Turk again, staying with Tarzan. Snow White versus Turk. So who is everybody picking there? Snow White versus Turk. Who do we have there? Again, should be a pretty, I think, lopsided, but you never know. A lot of people like that character. I know Rosie O'Donnell did a great job with her. AJ says Snow White. Cargo says Turk. Isaac, Melissa, Snow White. Noah says Snow White. Phantom Gazer. Chris says Snow White. Brian, Snow White. Les, please. Kayla and Leanne says Snow White as well. So pretty unanimous. Couple Turks here and there. But for the most part, Snow White. And I'm going to agree. I would say Snow White for sure. She's the original princess. She was the first one. I really like Snow White personally as well. I think she's one of my favorites. I think she's really highly underrated. A lot of people don't like her voice. I actually do like her voice because I think it is so unique. There's no other princess out there that really has a voice like hers. I like Snow White a lot. So she definitely would move on for me. Yep, so there you go. So Snow White for sure moves on to the next round. Now this next one's a little bit different. I was going to do these three as three separate, but then I was like, no, you can't have one without the other. They're really lumped together. So you're going to have Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. They're considered one to me, almost like the Wicked Stepsisters were in the other bracket. So Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather versus Esmeralda from the Hunchback of Notre Dame. So who do you guys pick there? Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. Yes, Melissa, the Tarzan soundtrack is very, very good. I agree with you there. I know Mason loves that soundtrack. Flora, Fauna, Merryweather versus Esmeralda. Who does everybody pick there? AJ says Esmeralda. Cargo says Esmeralda. Melissa takes the fairies. Noah says Esmeralda. Isaac says Esmeralda. Kayla says the three fairies. Brian, I would probably have to say Turk has more fleas. Bigger body. Chris says the fairies. Brian says Esmeralda. And I am actually going to go with Esmeralda on this one. I'm fairly certain the fairies. Yeah, that was a good one. But I'm sorry, gang. I'm going to go with Esmeralda on this one. Can anybody tell me who was the voice of Esmeralda in that movie? Let's see who can remember that. Let's see who's the first one to tell me who the voice of Esmeralda was. You get one extra point. You get a gold star. Which I don't have a gold star on me, but I'll make you one. Anyone? Anyone? Anyone know who was the voice? Demi. There you go. Well, Melissa, I knew you knew it. But yes, Demi Moore was the voice of Esmeralda in that movie. How about that? Yep, bye-bye fairies. Gold star, there you go. Well, listen, there's your gold star. There's your gold star. All right, so here we go. Next match. Yep, AJ got it. No idea. Haven't seen that one. No, there's no Hunchback presence in the parks at all, Chris, and I wish there was. I think that's another thing that they don't do well. There's some of these movies that they have out there, they really don't. They don't represent them well in the parks at all. And I wish they would. I think the parks are big enough, all the parks are big enough, that you could get better representation of these movies. Yep, that's right, Isaac. Good job. Yep, Demi Moore from Ghost. Yep. All right, our next matchup, and this is another one I think could be a tough one. You have Nala from The Lion King, Nala versus Merida from Brave. So Merida versus Nala. Who does everybody pick there? Hey, Joshua Wilkins, welcome in, buddy. How are you? Thanks for stopping in. We are doing our Disney female Disney bracket challenge. We're having a good time with it. So we are doing female Disney bracket challenge. Josh, my name is, if you don't know, first time in, I appreciate you being here. My name is Walt from Mouse Talk, and we do a live stream on Tuesday nights called Mouse Madness. And this week we are doing a Disney bracket challenge. We're having a good time with it, and everybody's voting. Chris says Scar. Wrong bracket. Nala, Merida. Makes sense. The witch from Brave, boo. No, it's okay, Joshua. Glad you're here. Appreciate you stopping in. Brian says Nala, Merida. Guys, I love Merida. Merida. Falala Nala. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to pick Merida on this one. Merida is another one of those Disney princesses. It's one of my favorites. I think she's great. I love the fact that she can shoot the bow and arrows and everything. Thank you, Cargo. I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm going to go with Merida on that one. I do like Nala as well, but I like Merida just a little bit more. A little bit more. So our next matchup is, and this one, this is going to be a tough one, I think, too. You have Ellie. Ellie is the wife in Up versus Pocahontas. So we have Ellie versus Pocahontas. Who does everybody pick there? Ellie versus Pocahontas. This is going to be a tough one, too, I think. Ellie versus Pocahontas. Who does everybody pick there? No, I wish I was the founder of Disney, Joshua. That would have been nice. I certainly wouldn't be sitting here. Actually, I might still be sitting here, but maybe just in a different place. Because we really enjoy doing these, doing the live streams. They're a lot of fun. Meet a lot of nice people. Everybody's very supportive. Everybody has a good time. And we're all good friends here. So I'm glad you can make it, and you're definitely welcome to join in. We try to keep it family friendly and just have a good time. So we got Pocahontas. Yeah, Brian, I guess the Nala is a princess. Absolutely, yep. Yep, Ellie. AJ picks Pocahontas, but Ellie in the Heartbreak, yeah, it's true. Pocahontas. Oh, there you go, Chris. So there we go. All right, so Pocahontas. Mostly everybody's picking Pocahontas. I agree. And that would have been my pick, too. Would have been Pocahontas. All right, so we are going to move on from that one. And our next matchup is going to be, oh, this is a good one. Same movie, two different characters from the same movie. And again, it was totally random. But you have, oh, no, it's not. It's not the same movie. I don't know what I'm thinking. You have Mrs. Potts from, of course, Beauty and the Beast versus Jessie from Toy Story. I have no idea why I thought they were the same movie. I don't know what I was thinking. But Mrs. Potts versus Jessie. So who does everybody pick there? Two very unique characters. Very different, but both very, very likable. I agree. Very Cargo. This is a tough one. You have Mrs. Potts versus Jessie. Cargo's going with Mrs. Potts. AJ says Jessie. This actually is not an easy one. Melissa. Yeah, I am tired. Chris says Mrs. Potts. Kayla says Jessie. Brian says Mrs. Potts. Melissa goes with Jessie. Leanne says Jessie but loves Mrs. Potts. Yeah, Joan Cusack versus Angela Lansbury. That's right, Chris. Pretty much, that's what it is. So this is the one where I think I'm going to kind of go... Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, Cargo, I must be tired. More tired than I thought. I don't know why I thought they were the same movie. I don't even know what I was thinking. But I am actually going to go with Mrs. Potts on this one. And I'll tell you why for me. Because for one, she's got her own song in the movie. You know, she sings the song. And she's also, well, she has a couple songs in the movie. And I love Angela Lansbury. I think she's a great character, great voice. So I'm going with Mrs. Potts. That's my pick. I know, it's a little different. Most people pick Jessie, but for me, it's going to be Mrs. Potts. She's going to move on. So there you go. So our next matchup, and again, we got some really tough ones here. We have, this is, I don't know, this might not be hard. But we have Dory from Finding Nemo versus Marie. And of course, Marie is from, I think, Aristocats. So we have Marie versus Dory. So who do we pick there? Dory versus Marie. Another one. Maybe this might not be too hard for most people, but a lot of people I know out there are actually really big fans of Marie. And it's funny, if anybody out there watches the Tim Tracker, I know that Jen is a big fan of Marie. So Mel says Dory, AJ Dory, Cargo Dory, Kayla Dory. Leanne says Dory. Makes sense for sure. Absolutely, I get it. That would probably be my pick too. But I want to see what everybody else says. Dory, 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 Dory. So a lot of Dorys, and I agree. Dory would be my pick too. I think Dory is definitely one of those great characters that it's so hard to pick someone else. Yeah, Kayla, Tim Tracker, they're a lot of fun. They do great videos. Noah says Dory hands down. Yeah, I mean, the matchups will get harder for Dory as time goes on, but you're right. Kind of in this one against Maria, it makes sense. Yes, Ellen was a perfect fit for Dory. I agree. Brian says Marie because that's Jennifer's middle name. Makes sense, Brian. Then there you go. It makes sense. You got to pick.